What's up, fam? We're in the studio setting things up. We already talked about space travel and I don't even remember. Warp drives.
You have to warp space-time in order to get to stars that are far away. Got that. I'll just do a thing. I have like an idea for a thing in my
pickle jars as well.
About.
Okay, here we are, about to dig in. Yeah, the huge. I was like, I'm not gonna get anything. My stomach hurts. Next thing I know, I hear myself being like, "No, get the pulled pork." I'm like, but who can blame me when it looks like this? Tablap got the spinach because she's healthy.
Eating pizza, trying to be healthy, compromising now.
Okay, bye. Hello. I'm with cute Sarah right now. We're about to go do ministering to cute girls in our ward for church. But I wanted to give you a little view of where we are because look at how amazing.
It's like we're in Europe.
I know. Can you see that? Wow. And I went exploring, and this is what we found. Just in the backyard, just a casual backyard hang. A river. Look at that beautiful girl. So amazed. Okay, so fam, thoughts from today. One, I keep thinking about the last post that I posted on social media about my social media fast and the 5 things to do to change your life. And look at that beautiful mark. And the last thing was be different from the world. And I've been thinking about that phrase a lot because I realized that I don't really love it, because I feel like it seems, at least to me, it sits a little bit divisive, and that's not the intention, and that's not what I feel like we believe in, or that I believe in, and feel like that's the core of my faith. And I realized that the way that I like seeing instead is that be like Jesus. And because I feel like there's this phrase that I grew up with, like, oh, the world is evil and wicked. But the more I go out and meet people in the beautiful world that God made for us, the more I find beauty and intelligence and truth from people that live differently than I do or believe differently than I do. And I love that. And I take what they can teach me and incorporate that into my life. And so this idea of being different from the world somehow, to me, sits like, I'm right, you're wrong, and so I am going to be different from you, instead of being like Jesus, which to me is like, and then be like Jesus and acknowledge that we're all brothers and sisters and that we're all one and the same and we're all God's children, and that Christ was the example of teaching and service and devoting his life to help and lift and serve people. He was also, like, if you read, John is one of my favorite books, and Christ is just like straight up, and he's very direct with people, which that's beautiful. But he's also so loving and teaches that the greatest things in life are to love God and to love thy neighbor as thyself, and upon all those, that's what matters, you know? And if you have charity, then if you don't have charity, you're nothing. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about that, about this idea of like be different from the world, where I think what it really means is like be like Jesus and don't love the dumb things of the world like fame, honestly, and money and all of these things. Because I've been thinking also a lot about friends of mine that have been really successful in music or even in my family, and how's that worked out for them in their personal lives. Honestly, not good. And here I am being like, oh, I'm not selling out arenas and I'm not doing these things. But I say, honestly, I've got such great personal peace. I'm really happy with the relationships that I have. I'm obsessed with my family. I'm happy with where I'm at in life. I'll be honest, I work at a pizza restaurant, low-key hate that job at the moment. And this week I don't have work, and it's been the greatest, where I just get to like focus on hanging out and serving people all day, and that's nice. But it's not fun when you don't have money and you can't give. So I thank God literally for the pizza restaurant because it enables me to have more money that I can spend on people and buy things for people, and that's really great, and it really is freeing. And there's an interesting statistic with money that's really, if you don't have enough, you are unhappy, but there's a certain limit where you start plateauing when you earn a certain amount of money, and then actually your happiness decreases. Isn't that fascinating with the more money that you make? Anyway, thoughts. Another thing, I'm like, okay, so I showed you around like events from the day, but I think what's more personal than just events is how my heart's doing, you know? So I just came home from seeing a movie with a friend, and don't you love when it's like, I'm not sure if this is a date or not because you paid for my movie ticket, but we're friends, and we agreed on a movie time, but we didn't really agree on like, oh, this is a date. So then it's like blurry, and I was like, I'll buy the snacks because you paid for the tickets. And then you come home and I'm like, I don't know what that was. And also it's funny because I'm like, this is like 4 years later after I met this person, or 5 or something, and I've had a crush on this person ever since I like first met them. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And so now we finally like went and did something alone for the first time, and I'm like, this is kind of late and I don't know how I feel. And also there's been another boy on the scene for some time that I really like, that honestly I'm like, how real do we want to get? I guess we're getting super real because I don't know if they'll ever see this, so that's good. But that didn't really treat me right, but I'm like, oh, whatever, he's fascinating. Oh, we just need someone to love him. Oh, he's just hurt and blah, blah. And honestly, we did have fun in the beginning, and then it got like complicated and and I overreacted to stuff because I'm really emotional. But also when you get really sensitive and emotional people together, it becomes kind of volatile. So, yeah. And so, going on a date with this new person, I'm like, oh, I miss this other boy. But then I go home and I'm like, but the boy tonight treated me really well. And then when he dropped me off, he was like, okay, well, now it's your turn to invite me to do something. And I was like, I'm the queen of inviting people to do stuff. So that'll be easy. And the fact that you just said that makes me happy. I don't know. Anyway, that was today. What a good day. Other things. Anyway, those are thoughts. I have so many videos that I'm like, I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and then never do, but I'm going to because I told you that I would. Also, I haven't figured out a good angle. I think probably from like going down below like this. I think it's probably my best angle. Maybe like that. Yeah. Just on set, we're filming a music video today. Literally just down the street from where Oba lives in a field. Haha! LOL! We're doing a couple different outfit changes. It's always funny seeing me on screen. I'm like, I look so awkward. When I'm standing, I'm like, I need to work out how to stand. And also just like be comfortable in my own skin. Still working on it. You'd think that by now, but no. Bodies are weird to me. I don't know.
Yo, what's up? We're driving down right now shooting a music video. Jenn BLOSI'Ls and I, our single, Universe. What up, Jenn?
This lighting is making me look like an alien. I'm like, eh.
She's glowing.
I'm glowing. I'm just celestial.
You know what I'm saying?
I read my scriptures this morning. It really worked out for me.
Yo, read your scriptures, y'all.
Just a nice
Yo, what up, Brandon?
day.
What up, Brandon?
Brandon in the back. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We got dope videographer in the back, dope artist right here. That's game over. Game over.
Then we've got jokes. So here's one.
Okay.
Guys, what's the best thing about Switzerland?
That it switzes on you.
Ayo, no,
Okay.
but also lights green.
Okay.
The answer is I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Da-da.
That was pretty good.
Okay, I have another joke. All right. A man went to a zoo and there was no animals in the zoo except for a single dog. It was a Shih Tzu.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's
Okay,
like kind of swearing, but actually you're just saying the breed of the dog, Shih Tzu.
That's really funny.
LOL.
I don't think I can beat those jokes.
I love swearing jokes. My mom can't get mad at me. I'm just kidding. I don't like swearing jokes. Hey, do you guys I'll keep kicking them out, kicking them out, kicking them out.
I hope forever never ends, 'cause girl, you take me up.
Everywhere we go,
I call it
cloud space, Pluto land.
I'll never let you down.
So Tom, where are we right now?
In and out.
In and out. And who are we with? We're in, and then it goes right back out. And guess what we're doing? Hey fam, we're currently at Target getting really healthy things. We're just wanting to do a new grass-fed diet. By grass-fed, I mean the milk came from cows who eat grass. And really stoked. We're making milkshakes, baby.
Because we're creative.
Yeah.
Or something.
We're meeting. Oh yeah, you can come get in. Oh, we're just meeting about our podcast. It's still happening. We haven't forgotten you.
Don't leave us.
Don't leave us. What's up, family? Just my natural habitat. Sweat. Just got out of the gym. Further news. You can't really tell, but my bruise is kind of like taking over my whole arm. It's a ride. Anyway, I keep forgetting to record. Things such as, this morning we were in the studio with Cute James, the boy that I mentor, and his song is sounding incredible. Also, our exchange student was in town with his wife from Germany. He's a pilot. Didn't record any of that. Didn't record a lot of stuff because I'm new to this whole vlogging experience. But today I was reading a lot of things by Brené Brown. She's incredible. If you've never read the book Daring Greatly, go read it. If you haven't listened to her podcast with Oprah, go listen to it. If you don't know who Brené Brown is, you're missing out. Anyway, there are people right behind me. It's kind of embarrassing. Just got home from the gym. Here's my cute mom. We're doing sewing project today. Taking in a skirt. Yo, this is the end of the vlog. In my car, like usual. I just got home from going to ice cream by myself and then going over to I went to the Provo City Center Temple Hall to go read this book. I've been reading Daring Greatly, but I couldn't find it before I left my house. And I picked this up before I left and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's the War of Art. It's basically talking all about why we don't accomplish the things that we want to accomplish in this thing called resistance, which basically is my whole life, where I am the queen of self-sabotage, honestly. And I've gone to lots of therapy to figure it out, and hasn't worked in that regard. It's worked in all of these other ways, but not that one. Anyway, I highly recommend the book. I need to do only 15-second intervals like it does on Instagram. So it's like, hey, blah, blah, I got this information. Blah. But the main thing is you just got to start. So I'm going to upload this vlog and it's going to be not edited and there aren't good segues into things and it might be too long and it'll probably be awkward. But guess what? I'm starting and the next video might be just as bad, but at some point it'll get better. You know? That's what counts. Anyway, go follow your dreams, whatever that is. Hope you have the best day. Probably gonna do this instead of Instagram because honestly Instagram low-key sucks and I don't really like it and I think it's stupid and creates false sense of reality and also priorities that are wrong. Why has a following ever been more important than being nice? And not being on Instagram this week has been so nice, where I don't have to worry about who's seen my stories and worried about validation from things. And yeah, I'm how will I know about events and certain things that happen? But I'm also I don't know, by actually being friends with people who tell me about stuff,